Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Women don't just wake up one day and decide, I'm not interested in him anymore. No. It happens over time. It's a slow process, like a light dimming until it just goes out. And if you don't catch it early, you're going to find yourself sitting there wondering what went wrong. When a man first meets a woman, he brings his best self forward. He makes an effort to impress her, takes care of his appearance, chooses his words carefully, and makes her feel special. He plans thoughtful dates, listens attentively, and ensures that she feels valued and desired. In those early days, he goes the extra mile to win her heart, showing up with flowers, sending good morning texts, and making her laugh with his charm and humor. But as time goes on, something changes. The excitement of the chase fades, and the comfort of familiarity settles in. The same man who once planned dates weeks in advance now barely puts in the effort to suggest an evening out. The compliments that once came naturally become rare. The energy that was once spent on making her feel special is now redirected toward other priorities: work, friends, hobbies, or simply the comfort of routine. And this is where the problem begins. A woman does not lose interest overnight. It happens gradually as she starts to feel like she is no longer being pursued. The very man who once made her feel like the most important person in his life now assumes that she will always be there, no matter how little effort he puts in. This is where many relationships begin to lose their spark. The excitement that once defined the relationship is replaced by monotony. What was once a passionate connection turns into something that feels like an obligation or habit rather than a choice. Men often assume that once they have secured a relationship, the job is done. But in reality, winning a woman's heart is only the beginning. The real challenge is keeping it. She wants to feel desired just as much as she did in the beginning. She wants to know that her presence still excites you, that she is still worth the effort, and that the love between you is something you actively choose every single day. It's not about grand gestures or expensive gifts. It's about the small, consistent efforts that remind her she is loved. It's about sending a thoughtful message in the middle of the day just to let her know you're thinking about her. It's about noticing the little things, how she did her hair differently, how she put effort into her outfit, or how she's been working hard and deserves to be acknowledged. It's about taking the time to plan something special, even if it's just a simple night in with her favorite movie and snacks. Many men make the mistake of assuming that once a woman is committed, she no longer needs to be pursued. But the truth is, the moment a woman feels like she is no longer being valued, she begins to emotionally withdraw. She may not say it outright, but she will feel it. She will notice when you stop complimenting her. She will notice when you stop prioritizing time with her. She will notice when your energy toward her shifts from excitement to obligation. A woman's heart thrives on attention, effort, and intentionality. She wants to feel like she is still the woman who made you fall in love in the first place. When she senses that the effort is gone, she may begin to question if the love is still there. This is why relationships don't just end because of big arguments or betrayals. They often fade away because one or both partners stop trying. Every relationship requires maintenance. Just like a car needs fuel to keep running, love needs continuous effort to stay alive. You cannot expect a fire to keep burning if you never add more wood. A woman doesn't want to feel like she was just a challenge to conquer. She wants to feel like she is a prize you still cherish long after you've won her heart. A woman is naturally drawn to a man who has ambition, drive, and a clear sense of purpose. She wants to be with someone who knows where he's going in life and is actively working towards something greater. It's not about being rich or having a high standard of job. It's about having a mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity. A man who wakes up with determination, who sets goals and chases them with passion, is the kind of man who keeps a woman's interest alive. In the beginning, a woman is attracted to the potential she sees in a man. She admires his work ethic, his vision, and his ability to stay focused on what he wants. She respects a man who has dreams and the discipline to pursue them. But when that same man starts to lose his ambition When he becomes complacent or stagnant, her perception of him changes. A woman wants to feel inspired by the man she is with. She wants to look at him and see someone who is continuously evolving, growing, and striving for more. The mistake many men make is that they get too comfortable. They achieve a certain level of success, or they enter a relationship and stop pushing themselves to grow. They become stuck in routine, losing the hunger they once had for self-improvement. What they don't realize is that a woman can sense this shift. She notices when a man stops striving. She notices when he no longer talks about his dreams with excitement. She notices when he starts making excuses instead of taking action. And over time, this lack of ambition begins to dull the attraction she once felt. A man who lacks drive is a man who becomes predictable. He no longer has that fire in his eyes that made him interesting in the first place. His conversations become repetitive, his actions uninspiring. A woman may not always voice her disappointment, but she will feel it. She will start to wonder if she is with a man who is going somewhere or if she is stuck with someone who is simply drifting through life. Ambition is not just about career success. It is about having a purpose in all aspects of life, whether it's personal growth, fitness, creativity, or a commitment to becoming a better partner. A man who is always learning, always improving, and always setting new goals is a man who remains attractive. He challenges himself, and in doing so, he keeps the relationship exciting. A woman doesn't want to be the sole source of motivation in a man's life. She wants to see that he is driven from within. When a man has a purpose, it creates an energy that draws people toward him. His confidence grows because he knows he is working towards something meaningful. That confidence, that sense of direction is what keeps a woman intrigued. She wants to be with a man who makes her feel like she is part of an exciting journey, not just a stagnant relationship. She wants to see him face challenges head on and push past obstacles with determination. On the other hand, a man who lacks ambition can become a burden rather than an inspiration. If he is always complaining about his situation but never taking steps to change it, it becomes exhausting. If he talks about his dreams but never puts in the work to achieve them, it becomes frustrating. A woman wants to be with someone who takes action, who follows through, who proves through his efforts that he is capable of growth. When a woman sees a man constantly striving to be better, she naturally wants to support him. She feels excited to be by his side because she knows she is with someone who values progress. She wants to contribute to his journey, to uplift and encourage him, but only if she sees that he is truly invested in himself first. If a man loses his ambition, he not only risks losing his own sense of purpose, but he also risks losing the admiration and respect of the woman who once believed in his potential. A woman gives her best when she feels valued. She puts in effort, she nurtures, she supports, and she stands by the man she loves. But when she starts feeling unappreciated, when it seems like everything she does goes unnoticed, something inside her starts to shift. She doesn't necessarily stop loving, but she starts pulling back. She starts questioning whether her presence is truly valued or if she's just being taken for granted. In the beginning, a man is often very attentive. He notices the little things. He appreciates the time and effort she puts into looking good, the way she listens when he talks, the way she goes out of her way to make his life easier. He expresses his gratitude, whether through words, gestures, or small acts of kindness. But over time, that appreciation sometimes fades. He gets used to having her around, and what once felt like a gift now feels like a given. He stops saying thank you. He stops acknowledging her efforts. He assumes she knows how much she means to him without ever actually reminding her. What many men fail to realize is that a woman's need for appreciation never goes away. It's not about grand gestures. It's about feeling seen, feeling valued, feeling like all the love and effort she pours into the relationship is being recognized. A simple compliment, a heartfelt thank you, or a small act of kindness can make all the difference. When a woman cooks a meal, takes care of something important, or supports her man through his struggles, she's not necessarily looking for praise, but she does want to feel that her efforts matter. When appreciation is lacking, resentment starts to build. A woman may not always voice her feelings, but she will feel the absence of gratitude. She will notice when she's giving more than she's receiving. She will start to wonder if her presence truly makes a difference. And when those thoughts settle in, she starts to emotionally withdraw. She may still be there physically, but something shifts in the way she interacts. She becomes less affectionate, less engaged, less willing to go the extra mile. Showing appreciation is one of the easiest ways to keep a woman's interest alive. It requires no money, no elaborate plans, just a conscious effort to recognize and acknowledge the things she does, a compliment on how she looks, a genuine thank you for something she's done, a small surprise to show that she's on your mind. All of these things make her feel valued. When a woman feels valued, she gives even more of herself. She invests more in the relationship. She remains emotionally connected because she knows that what she does is appreciated. A man who consistently shows appreciation keeps the love alive. He makes his woman feel like she is special, like she is more than just a presence in his life, but an essential part of it. When appreciation is present, love grows stronger. When it's absent, love begins to fade, no matter how strong it once was. A woman thrives on emotional connection. She wants to feel heard, understood, and valued beyond just physical attraction or financial security. In the beginning, a man is usually attentive, asking her about her day, listening to her thoughts, engaging in deep conversations that make her feel connected. She feels emotionally safe with him because he shows interest not just in what she does, but in who she is. But over time, many men stop putting in the same effort. They assume that once a relationship is established, deep conversations are no longer necessary. They become distracted by work, hobbies, or simply fall into a routine where communication becomes minimal. When a woman tries to express her thoughts or emotions, she may start getting one-word responses. When she shares her feelings, she may feel unheard or dismissed. Slowly, she begins to feel like her voice doesn't matter as much as it once did. When a woman feels emotionally disconnected, she starts to pull away. She may not argue or complain right away, but she will begin to retreat within herself. She will stop sharing her thoughts because she doesn't feel like they are being received with the same enthusiasm. She will stop opening up about her struggles because she doesn't feel like they are being acknowledged. And once she reaches that stage, it becomes difficult to bring back the closeness that once existed. Emotional connection is built through small, consistent actions. It's in the way a man listens when she speaks, how he remembers the little details she shares, and how he makes her feel like her emotions matter. When a woman shares something that's important to her, she's not always looking for a solution. Sometimes she just wants to feel heard. She wants to know that her thoughts and feelings are being taken seriously. A simple "I hear you" or "I understand why you feel that way" can mean more than offering advice or dismissing the issue altogether. When a man emotionally withdraws, whether due to stress, exhaustion, or simply lack of effort, a woman senses it immediately. She can tell when he's present physically but absent emotionally. She can feel when he's no longer as engaged in conversations or when his responses become routine rather than genuine. She may try to initiate deeper conversations, but if she continuously feels unheard, she will stop trying. And once she stops trying, that's when the real distance begins. Reconnecting emotionally doesn't require big gestures. It starts with paying attention, with genuine curiosity about what's on her mind, with making an effort to understand her world. It's about putting the phone down when she's talking, making eye contact, and being present in the moment. Emotional connection isn't built in a day, but it can be lost in an instant if a woman feels ignored or neglected. When she feels emotionally connected, she stays invested. When that connection fades, her interest follows. When a man and a woman first get together, everything feels exciting. There's effort, passion, and a strong desire to impress each other. The man pays attention to how he looks, how he speaks, and how he treats her. He goes out of his way to make her feel special, planning dates, giving compliments, and making sure she knows she's important to him. She feels valued because he is putting in real effort to keep her interested. Over time, however, many men fall into the trap of complacency. They get comfortable in the relationship and stop doing the things they once did. The same man who used to make her feel like a priority now assumes she will always be there. He stops dressing up for her, stops planning meaningful moments, and stops showing appreciation in the little ways that once made her smile. The energy he once brought to the relationship slowly fades, and instead of feeling like he is still trying to win her over, she starts to feel like she is just part of his routine. A woman notices when a man becomes too comfortable. She sees when he no longer puts in the same effort, and she starts to wonder if he still values her the way he once did. It's not that she expects grand gestures all the time, but she does want to feel like she is still worth the effort. She wants to feel desired, not just as a partner in a relationship, but as a woman who continues to excite and inspire her man. Many men assume that once they are in a committed relationship, they no longer need to pursue their partner, but the truth is, the work of keeping a woman interested never stops. The same way a man wouldn't expect to stay fit without working out, he shouldn't expect a relationship to stay strong without putting in the effort. Attraction isn't just about looks or chemistry, it's about energy, effort, and the willingness to keep things fresh and exciting. Routine and stability are important in a relationship, but they shouldn't replace passion and effort. A woman doesn't want to feel like she's just another part of a man's daily life. She wants to feel like she is still the person who excites him, who makes him want to be his best, and who brings out the best in him. She wants to see that he still values the connection, that he still takes time to notice her, and that he still appreciates her presence in his life. The mistake many men make is thinking that a relationship will maintain itself once it reaches a certain stage. They assume that because a woman loves them, she will always be there no matter what. But love needs to be nurtured, and attraction needs to be sustained. A woman may stay in a relationship out of commitment, but if she stops feeling desired and appreciated, her emotional connection will begin to fade. She may not say it immediately, but she will feel the difference, and over time, that feeling can create a distance that is difficult to repair. Men who continue to put in the effort, who don't allow themselves to become complacent, and who actively make their partner feel valued are the ones who keep the spark alive. It's not about doing something grand once in a while. It's about consistency in the small things, a genuine compliment, a thoughtful gesture, a moment of undivided attention. These are the things that remind a woman that she is still loved and cherished. When a man stops making her feel that way, she starts to feel like she's no longer a priority. And once she feels that way for too long, her interest will begin to fade. A woman wants a man who not only stands beside her, but also leads with confidence, strength, and vision. She is naturally drawn to a man who knows who he is, where he's going, and how he's going to get there. Leadership in a relationship isn't about control or dominance. It's about guidance, stability, and the ability to make decisions that benefit both partners. A man who leads with confidence provides a sense of security, and that security strengthens the emotional connection between him and his woman. In the beginning, a man often takes charge, planning dates, making thoughtful decisions, and showing a clear direction in his life. He is assertive, decisive, and carries himself with confidence. This energy is attractive because it makes a woman feel safe and assured. She sees that he is capable of handling challenges, making important choices, and steering their relationship in a positive direction. His leadership makes her feel like she is with someone who can protect and provide, not just financially, but emotionally and mentally as well. But as time goes on, some men begin to lose that sense of leadership. They become passive, hesitant, or too dependent on their partner to make all the decisions. They stop taking initiative, waiting for her to plan everything, from dates to life goals. They avoid responsibility, failing to step up when challenges arise. Instead of being a source of strength and stability, they become uncertain, indecisive, or complacent. Over time, a woman begins to feel like she is carrying the weight of the relationship on her own. A woman does not want to feel like she is the only one pushing the relationship forward. She doesn't want to be the one constantly making all the tough decisions, planning the future, or figuring out how to solve problems. She wants a partner who can share that responsibility, who can take the lead when necessary, and who is confident enough to make choices that benefit both of them. When a man loses his leadership qualities, a woman may start to feel frustrated, unappreciated, and disconnected. Confidence and direction are key elements of attraction. A woman is drawn to a man who believes in himself, who is unafraid to make difficult choices, and who takes control of his own life. He doesn't wait for things to happen, he makes them happen. He is proactive in his personal growth, in his career, and in his relationship. He communicates his goals and aspirations, making it clear that he is someone with vision and purpose. This kind of man naturally commands respect and admiration. When a man lacks leadership, he may become overly dependent on his woman for validation, guidance, or emotional support. While a woman wants to support her partner, she does not want to feel like she is raising him or guiding him like a child. She wants to feel like she is walking beside a man who knows how to handle life with confidence and maturity. She doesn't expect perfection, but she does expect effort. Taking the lead doesn't mean making all the decisions alone. It means being a strong presence in the relationship, showing initiative, and making sure both partners are moving forward together. It means being emotionally available, communicating effectively, and stepping up when challenges arise. A man who is passive, indecisive, or lacks direction will eventually lose a woman's interest, because she will start to feel like she is alone in the relationship. A woman respects a man who takes charge, who is willing to grow, and who makes her feel secure in his ability to handle whatever comes their way.